If you've ever felt stuck in a cycle of cluttering and decluttering, this video is for you. For years, I accumulated lots of stuff. If I liked it, I bought it, especially if it was on sale. My motto was always be prepared, so even if I didn't need it right away, it was bound to come in handy sometime. Like that hammock I bought in Argentina and kept in my closet for years. Or that queen-sized inflatable bed that was only used once. Or all the tools and utensils that I barely remembered I had. Books I never read. And the list goes on and on. Now things are different. I'm quick to declutter anything that's no longer serving me so I can enjoy more space. And before I make a purchase, I think, do I really need this? Can I borrow it or use something else in its place? How often am I really going to use it? Where am I going to store it? Maybe I can use that money for something else. Don't get me wrong, I'm still very much a work in progress, but I've come a long way. What really made the difference? It wasn't motivation, it was an identity shift. Our identity shapes our habits and behaviors, and when our identity shifts, everything does. So in this video, I'll share with you some simple identity shifts for a clutter-free environment, and then I'll give you some strategies to help you make those shifts. Our identity is aligned with our values. When we declutter, we're really getting rid of items that no longer have value for us. They may have at some point, but not so much anymore. But if I asked you, what do you value? What would you say? Maybe some of your values are causing you to acquire and hold on to possessions that you no longer need. Materialism is a big one. Maybe you value material possessions as symbols of success, happiness, or status. If that's the case, your stuff is an outward display of those values. If you define yourself by your possessions, you feel as though your worth is tied to them. So getting rid of them threatens your identity. I've always wanted to be put together and prepared for every eventuality. That meant that I had to accumulate lots of stuff. I remember once a workman said to me, "Wow, you have everything." He called for a tool and there it was. If you shift your sense of self away from your possessions, and you focus on who you really are without those possessions, it becomes easier to release emotional attachments. You no longer need those items to validate your sense of self. Then you can shift to an identity that values simplicity, intentionality, and authenticity. When your values shift, your possessions will eventually reflect those new values rather than just be remnants of a past identity. Redefine success, status, and happiness in terms of fulfillment and how you feel on the inside rather than what you have on the outside. Instead of valuing things, you shift to valuing relationships, experiences, and personal growth. Another value that leads to clutter is sentimentality. You place high value on sentimental items and you form an emotional attachment to them. So it's difficult to let them go even if they're no longer serving a purpose. Shift your focus from the past to the present. The present is what matters. So if something isn't serving you right now, it may not need to be in your life. If you can shift your values to freedom, non-attachment, and detachment, you'll easily let go of anything that's weighing you down. If authenticity is important to you, you'll be able to let go of anything that does not align with your true self. Simplicity is important to me, so I'm working on keeping just the essentials. I still have a long way to go, but I'm appreciating the beauty of having fewer and more meaningful possessions. We've looked at our values and now we come to our beliefs. Your beliefs are the fundamental ideas you hold about the world, others, and yourself. So to change your environment, you first need to change your beliefs. Maybe you have a belief that more is better. That goes hand in hand with a scarcity mindset. Maybe at some points in your life, you didn't have all that you needed, so now you have a tendency to hoard. Perhaps you have a consumer mentality instead of a creator mentality. We live in a consumer-driven world and we are constantly bombarded by messages telling us to buy more. If you have a consumer mentality, you focus on acquiring things. You get satisfaction and temporary joy from purchasing new things, but that feeling often fades and then you're left in a cycle of always having to purchase and purchase to feel good. You tend to buy items impulsively just for the sake of consumption without thinking of their long-term purpose. And soon the stuff begins to accumulate. But what if you shifted your mindset from consumer to creator? A creator is focused on building or crafting something meaningful and therefore shops more intentionally. They prioritize quality and usefulness and remove unnecessary items and distractions from their environment. Instead of accumulating items, they may focus on creating memories and experiences that add value to their lives. Remember, a clutter-free space opens up opportunities for more meaningful activities. Your space is a space for living and not for storing stuff. Embrace the principle of less is more and question the true value of each item before you purchase it. Maybe you believe that getting rid of things is wasteful, so you become a collector rather than a curator. With a collector, the emphasis is on holding on to things rather than using or enjoying them. Do you identify as someone who just can't let go of things even when they no longer serve a purpose? You may feel guilty about getting rid of items, especially if they were expensive and if they're still somewhat functional. So you stockpile items that you don't really use. A curator is intentional and selective. Quality is more important than quantity. You carefully choose items that align with your values, needs, and aesthetics. Possessions are not just objects, but part of a cohesive space, and so the curator edits regularly to avoid clutter. As a curator, you preserve and showcase the items that are most important to you. Instead of seeing decluttering as wasteful, see it as a responsibility. Recycle, donate, sell items that you no longer need so that they can serve someone else. Keeping things that you no longer need is a waste of space, time, energy, and peace of mind, and those are priceless. To create an identity change, you let go of past versions of yourself. Clutter often represents past identities, things you used to enjoy, projects you never quite completed, roles that you have since outgrown. Holding on to clutter keeps you stuck in the past and prevents you from moving forward. Redefine yourself, embrace who you are now and who you want to become, and create the physical and mental space for that new self to emerge. So how do we actually change our values and beliefs and adopt a new identity? Start by examining your current beliefs and values that are driving your accumulation tendencies. Sometimes they're yours and sometimes they've been acquired from external influences. Question their validity and consider alternative perspectives. After we've examined our beliefs and values, we need to adopt new and empowering ones. Your new beliefs will align with your goal for a clutter-free environment. So replace "I may need this someday" with "I trust that I will have all that I need when I need it." Instead of "getting rid of this is wasteful," think "letting go of this creates space for what truly matters." Visualize the person you want to become, someone who lives according to your new values. Imagine what their home looks like, how they spend their time, how they feel about their possessions. Use that visualization as a guide when you're deciding what to keep and what to let go of. Adopt the identity of a clutter-free person. Start with small, manageable steps that align with your new identity. Celebrate your progress no matter how small and use it to reinforce your commitment to change. Over time, your small, consistent actions will lead to a significant transformation. Surround yourself with influences that support your new identity. Engage with people who embody the values that you want to adopt. Connect with communities and resources that share your new beliefs and values. Cultivate mindfulness to help you stay present and focused on your new beliefs so you prevent the old ones from trying to creep back. Reinforce your new identity through journaling, meditation, and self-reflection. Stay connected to it. If you're tackling the problem from the same mindset that allowed the clutter to accumulate in the first place, you're likely to go right back to where you started. Change your identity and transform your space. Thank you so much for watching. Share your key takeaway with us in the comments. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you soon.